Hi, I'm Leonie Liebenberg, the owner and founder of a prestige Must Be Nice clothing brand in South Africa.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Stonehouse, Director of Rugby at the Airlink Pumas here in Mbombela.
My name is Marius van Rensburg and I am the Chief Executive Officer of Pumalanga Rugby Union.
In 2021, we had our first meeting in Cape Town when the Pumas played against the Western Province. And we showcased our clothing to Coach Jimmy. And from there, I think it was a week, when we signed the deal and they started playing in our clothing in 2022, when they actually won the Currie Cup for the first time.
Yeah, we had a away game against the Western Province, and it was, I think, just 2 years after COVID. And then I got a hold of Leonie Liebenberg, Must Be Nice phone number, and I gave her a call and asked her, can we please set up a meeting? And then we played Western Province on that Saturday, and then that evening we had a meeting at the hotel. And I can tell you a lot of stories about that meeting, but yet obviously it went well, and Must Be Nice became one of our biggest sponsors.
And the relationship started with the professional team first.
For me, as the owner of Must Be Nice, we have been in manufacturing for a lot of brands, international brands. And you see every weekend your clothing on the TV, but it's not your brand showcasing on the chest, it's another brand. So I chose to go to the Airlink Pumas and ask them for a chance to showcase my brand. And they have been seen as the underdogs, I've been seen as the underdogs, and together we just made magic.
Yes, obviously in the past there were other clothing sponsors involved. But if you look at Must Be Nice, the way they got involved, there's a full sponsor for the Pumas. And obviously everyone has to make money out of a sponsorship. But with Must Be Nice clothing and Leonie is something different. It's like a family. She never misses a home game. She never misses a game when we play away. And then the difference with Must Be Nice, to be honest with you, is we always say we need a sponsor, but we need a friend and we need family. And that's the difference. The quality of the clothing is beyond something else. And yeah, the way she just produced, she's always on time. And when you need something, she's there. And before you start thinking of anything new, she already done it. So yeah, that's obviously one thing that you'll never get from something else. And if you look at clothing brands all over the world, I think they always think they're better than the team they sponsor. But in this case, we're really close, and we're close as a family.
Sponsors and partners is a critical part in a sports organization, and it brings financial sustainability, it brings support, and that helps us as unions to make sure that we can contact players and we can give them an opportunity for them to grow as individuals and moving on to the next phase in their lives.
For me, it is MBN and the Pumas both come from humble beginnings. We, like MBN, has started with actually 0 machines, as I started it as a third-party business, and we are ending with 50 staff members at this moment. So I see the Pumas as well. They always have an up and down. They don't always have it great. There's always struggles. We all are trying to always just make the best of every situation. And that's why it makes it special for me to be at the Pumas, because we both have the same integrity and loyalness and hard working of what we are trying to achieve.
Yes, obviously, you know, to get a clothing sponsor, to get fully on board, and you know they're there for the next 5 years or 6 or 7 years, especially that just brings something out to you. You don't need to worry about it in the future. You know it's there. And obviously when the clothing looks great and you're well dressed, you can start looking at the discipline of the players by wearing the same clothing. And then suddenly that brand on the field, that pink, everybody starts to wear it. And that gave something nice to the Airlink Pumas. That gave something nice to the players. You know, suddenly you got that Must Be Nice brand, you got the Airlink brand, and then from there on it's just obviously try to keep on winning. And getting that brand on board, I believe Must Be Nice and Airlink just made a huge step up and just went a long way together and further and upwards. And I'm glad that they are both of those two guys are on board.
Emotionally, I think we all have a purpose or had a purpose, and that purpose was to grow both businesses. And I think today we can say that the relationship between Must Be Nice and the Airlink Pumas have grown so big, and I think that is something that everybody in the country can now relate to.
I would say I was that day one, and don't be that day one. Be that day you wake up, you have something in your head, you stand up, you work on it, you do it. I mean, I was a day one, and now I stand up, I plan, I make the clothing, I ship it, they wear it, and that's a proud moment. If you sit and wait, somebody like in rugby will intercept and they'll take the opportunity from you. So don't ever hesitate if it is a good plan or a good idea. If you will make it work, it will be a good idea.
Yeah, what people must understand, a union don't exist without sponsors. If you don't have the sponsors, then obviously you will struggle a lot. And it's nice to see that the people in Mbombela and all our sponsors all over who's involved with us, but it's nice to see how the name just is out there in the street, out there, and the people will mention it. Look at this sponsor by involved with you, look at that sponsor by involved with you. And it's great to see where sponsors are going, especially some of the sponsors here in Mbombela that's been involved with us for a few years, how their name just grew from just being involved. And every year, every week here at the stadium, you see their name around the field, you see their name on the board. And yeah, the people are just talking about it. And I believe that sponsoring a union like the Pumas means quite a lot to the sponsors themselves.
Yeah, we, the management, went out, and when we came back, we thought 11 or 12 of us will fit in a lift. So we all went into the lift, and we got stuck for more than 40 minutes in the lift. That's one of the memories people don't see, people don't know, but we enjoyed it because we were family sitting in an elevator together, getting very hot at the stage. But we laughed, we enjoyed it. We had to get the elevator people down or out at, I think, 2, 3 in the morning to open for us. So that's memories that will forever last, and I'll sit again in the elevator with all those people.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of ones which I cannot mention today. But obviously the first night when we met Leonay, that was a great evening. There you could have seen the way we just clicked there with the whole team, and then visiting us at the hotel. And then obviously from there on, every visit in Mbombela where they came down here, we had dinners and we had a lot of fun, and we went out together as a group of people, and that was the nice part of it. But winning the Currie Cup and having that nice moments just after the game, visiting one of their local places. Yeah, there's a lot of moments which I can mention. But like I said, it's like a family, and when you're always together, and there's a lot of funny moments. And if you just look at Must Be Nice, not always involved with the players, always involved with the players' families. Yeah, it's great. I think there's a lot of funny moments between the players and Must Be Nice and Leonay and everyone, and especially other sponsors, because I know they got a lot of value in all the other sponsors as well.
Yeah, so for me, it's the Currie Cup final we've played in Kimberley against the Griquas. And after the game, I think we hugged each other for about 2 to 3 minutes. I think, and the reason for that is that we were all just proud of the Pumas and proud of the relationship between the Pumas, Airlink Pumas, and Must Be Nice.